My boss chuckled during a meeting and said, "Irreplaceable. Don't forget that." I smiled. I didn't argue. 2 weeks later, he found out what it feels like to be replaced. I'm Marcus, 29, lead software engineer at a mid-sized fintech startup in Austin. For 3 years, I'd been the backbone of our tech team, building systems from scratch, fixing critical bugs at 2 a.m., and making Derek look like a genius to the board. Derek was my boss, the VP of engineering, who'd somehow convinced our investors he was a technical mastermind. He wasn't. He could barely read code, but he was great at taking credit. Every successful product launch, every system upgrade I'd architected, Derek presented as his vision. I didn't mind at first. I was young, focused on the work, building my skills. The team knew who really ran things. That was enough, or so I thought. The breaking point came during our quarterly review in front of the entire engineering department. 15 people packed into the conference room, and Derek decided it was the perfect time to flex. We were discussing a minor bug in the payment system, something I'd already fixed overnight. A junior dev asked why we hadn't caught it earlier. Derek leaned back in his chair, that trademark smug grin spreading across his face. "Well, if our lead engineer wasn't so focused on being irreplaceable," he said, looking directly at me, "maybe we'd have better redundancy. Marcus, you're replaceable. Don't forget that." The room went silent. A few people shifted uncomfortably. I felt my face heat up, but I didn't react. I just smiled, nodded, and said, "Noted." Inside, something clicked. Years of watching him take credit, of working through weekends while he golfed with investors, of being undervalued while he pulled in triple my salary, it all crystallized in that moment. I went back to my desk and opened LinkedIn. 3 months earlier, I'd started getting messages from TechFlow, our biggest competitor. Their CTO had been trying to recruit me, offering $185K, almost double my current $95K salary. I'd ignored them, loyal to the team I'd helped build, proud of what we'd created together. That loyalty died in Derek's smirk. I responded to TechFlow that afternoon. We set up a call for that evening. By the end of the week, I had a formal offer, $185K base, equity, and the title of Senior Engineering Director. I'd be leading their payment platform team, building a direct competitor to the system I'd created. I accepted immediately. But here's the thing about being truly irreplaceable. You leave a hole that can't be filled. I built 90% of our core payment processing system over 3 years. The codebase was massive, complex, interconnected. I documented everything meticulously because I actually cared about the work. But documentation only helps if someone understands the architecture. Nobody on our team did, not even close. They'd relied on me for every critical decision, every system design, every integration. I'd also checked my employment contract months ago when Derek's ego started getting out of control. My lawyer confirmed what I'd suspected. The intellectual property clauses were standard, but the non-compete was laughably narrow. It only prevented me from poaching clients, not from building competing technology. The code belonged to the company, but my knowledge, my architectural decisions, my 3 years of experience, that was mine. I gave my 2 weeks notice on a Monday morning. Derek actually laughed when I handed him the resignation letter. "Good luck finding another job in this city," he said, not even bothering to ask why I was leaving. He assumed I'd struggle, that I'd come crawling back. "I'll have your replacement hired by next week." I didn't tell him I'd already been hired. I didn't tell him TechFlow was paying me more than he made. I just smiled the same way I'd smiled during that meeting and said, "I'm sure you will." My last 2 weeks were surreal. Derek assigned my work to 3 different engineers, splitting my responsibilities like it was simple. None of them understood the payment system architecture. I offered to do knowledge transfer sessions, genuinely trying to help the team I was leaving behind. Derek declined. "We've got this," he said, waving me off. "Don't want you wasting time on training when we're bringing in someone better." On my last day, I handed Derek a USB drive containing every piece of documentation I'd created. System diagrams, architecture notes, code explanations. He took it without looking at it, already focused on his laptop. "Thanks," he muttered. "Don't let the door hit you." I walked out of that office knowing exactly what was coming. 1 week later, the payment platform crashed during a live demo with their biggest potential client. Derek called me 17 times. I didn't answer. TechFlow launched our competing product 3 months later. We took 40% of their client base in 6 months. Derek was fired 8 months after I left.